It's time for Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barber's Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and DeZubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to the Mars Athletic Complex on the campus of Mars Middle School in Mars, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And it's the WPIAL 5A first round playoff game between the 13th seeded Woodland Hills Wolverines and the 4th seeded Mars Fighting Planets. Woodland Hills, the number 5 team out of the Allegheny 8 Conference, qualifying for the playoffs with a 4-6 record overall, 3-4 out of the Allegheny 8. They come off of a 28-14 win last week at home against Chartiers Valley. Meanwhile, the Mars Planets are the second-place team out of the Northern Conference. They enter the game with a record of 9-1 overall, 6-1 within the Northern Conference. They are the fourth-seeded team in the playoffs, as I mentioned already, and they come off of a 30-6 victory last week here at the Mars Athletic Complex against the Hampton Talbots. We are going to step away for a couple of minutes, and when we return, Eric Shuley is going to join us with his pregame analysis as the State Farm agent Brandon Green pregame show rolls on here on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
State Farm agent Brandon Green wants to help you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize your dreams. You can visit his office, conveniently located in the Forest Hills Plaza. Give him a call at 412-824-4800 or visit his website at greencoverage.com. Whether you're looking for insurance, banking, or annuities, State Farm agent Brandon Green is here to help life go right.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to the Mars Athletic Complex in Mars, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Eric, as we take a look at this WPIAL 5A playoff game between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Mars Planets. One thing that's key is Woodland Hills may be taking on a team that is 9-1, but they certainly haven't had a lot of tough tests this season. We talked about that on the ride up here.
Definitely their hardest game came against Penn Hills, and they lost by 3 touchdowns, but still a tough team. 9-1 coming into this game. They like to run the ball a lot. Second leading rusher in the WPIAL and Garrett Reinke, over 1,700 yards on the year, so it's going to be tough for the Wolverines to keep him contained, but if they can, that'll go a long way for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
We're going to step away for another 2-minute timeout, and when we return, we'll get you set for a kickoff. It's the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Mars Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa, and you're tuned into the State Farm agent Brandon Green pregame show.
Number 13.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area
but he needed
for
to
over
turn
15
for me to get any
years.
closer.
Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit OwenTheLawyer.com. There are a few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
We welcome you back to the State Farm agent Brandon Green pregame show. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. We thank you for joining us, whether you're tuned in live on the Trib Live High School Sports Network or on any of our television affiliates, or if you are watching one of our replays on our TV affiliates or on our YouTube channel. Again, Woodland Hills taking on the Mars Planets in this WPIAL 5A first-round playoff game. Woodland Hills, the 13 seed, the Mars Planets, the number 4 seed. Woodland Hills, the 5th team out of Allegheny 8, while Mars, the number 2 team out of the Northern Conference. Painting the picture for our radio audience, far sideline are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. They wear their road white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants, turquoise numerals with the black trim, turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes. Near sideline are the Mars Planets, and they wear their home Navy uniforms, Navy jersey, Navy pants, Navy helmets with the gold and white trim from head to toe. Woodland Hills will receive to begin this football game, and the Mars Planets will be kicking off right to left across your computer or television screen. Good to have you along with us on this chilly night in western Pennsylvania. Long trip for Woodland Hills, Eric, to say the least, for this WPIAL first-round playoff game.
And nothing the Wolverines aren't used to after the schedule this year, though. Certainly used to long road trips. Hopefully they can get things kicked off similar to last week after that big kickoff return to start the game against Chartiers Valley by Chris Jones, who returned for a touchdown. Would be a great way to start the playoffs for the Wolverines.
Kicking off for Mars is Blake Edwards, the junior kicker for the Planets. 3 Wolverines are back deep. In the middle for Woodland Hills is Anthony Meredith, and he is flanked by 2 teammates A short kickoff that'll bounce to around the 24-yard line, where it'll be returned by a Wolverine. And up the gut goes Zachary Threats, and Threats is brought down as he drives his way out to the 40-yard line before a mass of humanity brings him down. And Woodland Hills starts the game with pretty decent field position.
Yeah, not bad at all. Zachary Threats, we've seen him take some carries late in games. He's a junior, and he's certainly a very good running back, but obviously competing with guys like William Clark and Anthony Meredith is tough, but contributing in any way that he can, getting the Wolverines in great starting field position. We'll see what the offense can do early in the game here tonight.
So the ball spotted at the 41, where Woodland Hills will start this first offensive drive of the football game. Pitch comes to the near side, and William Clark is the ball carrier. He'll drive his way forward for a pickup of 2. Not going to get any further than that. As down at the bottom of the pile for the Mars Planets is Teddy Ruffner.
Yeah, saw a hole there, but it closed immediately. Planets did a good job of making sure that Clark wasn't going any further, so a short gain for the Wolverines, just 2 yards there on first down.
Mars this season, 1 loss coming to Penn Hills, and Penn Hills in the Northern Conference, much the same circumstance Woodland Hills has, having long ways to travel each and every away game. As William Clark gets the carry on second down, drives his way forward out to the 45-yard line for a pickup of 2, and that brings up third down and 6 for the Wolverines at the 45.
Yeah, just pretty much same result there, just 2 yards. The Mars Fighting Planets are pretty stout up front, so it's going to be tough for the Wolverines to run the ball efficiently tonight on a regular basis.
Judson steps under center. Off of play action, rolling to the near side right. Tosses it to Christopher Jones, and the pass is down around his ankles. It wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyway, considering the coverage right there by Mitchell Wright for Mars, and that brings up a 4th down and 6 for Woodland Hills. And the Wolverines are going to be forced to punt here.
Not a good start for Woodland Hills. You had great starting field position. You want to go down the field early, but they just could not get anything going there on the first 3 plays.
And the snap sails past Chucky Hanchett. He's going to retreat, tries to scoop it up, now steps to his left-hand side, trying to run his way forward after picking up the fumbled snap, gets the punt away somehow. It's going to take a bounce in favor of Woodland Hills past the 45, so Woodland Hills is going to come out of here with some net yardage. In fact, 6 net yards on the punt. Chucky Hanchett with a terrific play, making something out of what could have been an absolute disaster for Woody High.
Yeah, that was just great by Chucky Hanchett. It's a shame Wolverines still having long snap issues, but he did a great job of pulling the ball in and making a few Mars Planets miss, making a nice juke move at the end, and then he was able to get the punt off, which was unbelievable. You will not see this happen at any level often at all. So Hanchett makes a big play for the Wolverines early, but the defense still has to be tough here as the Mars has great starting field position right around midfield.
Yeah, the ball at their own 49-yard line with 10:26 to play as the handoff will go to the tailback, Garrett Renke, and Renke drives his way across the midfield stripe into Woodland Hills territory to the 48. A pickup of about 3, and that brings up 2nd down and 7.
I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of Renke. Over 220 carries on the year, over 1,700 yards, as I mentioned in the pregame show. 2 old-fashioned teams. They like to run the ball up the middle a lot, so we'll be seeing that a lot tonight.
So 2nd down and 7 for Mars with the football at the Woodland Hills 48-yard line. 9:49 to play as the clock rolls here in quarter number 1. Movement early by Woodland Hills. The play will continue, but Mars is going to have basically an opportunity to free play here as Drew Schlegel carries it to the near sideline, picks up about a half a dozen yards, bringing up 3rd down and 1. And Mars has a decision here. Do they keep 2nd down and it'll be 2nd and 2, or will they keep the play?
I actually don't know if they even threw a flag on that.
I saw the official on the far sideline throw a flag, and he must have just picked it up.
Yeah. So no decision then, actually, and they'll be forced into this 3rd and short. I have a feeling Renke's going to get the ball.
Good call. Now the quarterback will keep it going over right guard, and then the ball, I think, did come loose.
He pitched it back to Renke. That was a very dangerous but heady play there by Kowalski.
Yeah, Kowalski was stacked up and then pitched it away off to Renke.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to get it if he did not give it back to Reinke there, and that was a Ben Roethlisberger-type play. Desperation, pitch back to Reinke, and he gets the first down for Mars. Tough break for Woodland Hills as they stack that QB sneak up quick.
So it's first down and 10 for Mars. The ball at the Woodland Hills 37-yard line. Woodland Hills shows blitz and some movement up front, and looked like maybe Michael Roman breached the neutral zone because he was coming on that blitz and was baited by the hard count.
Another one of those issues the Wolverines have been having all season. Maybe some jitters early on in the playoffs here. Hopefully they can get that squared away and can't give away 3 yards to a team like Mars. It's 9-1 on the season.
First and 5 now for the Mars Planets. The ball at the Woodland Hills 32-yard line. Split backs, play action, looking right the whole way, and the pass way off the mark. Kowalkowski looking to that far sideline, and there was no blue jerseys in the vicinity.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Kowalkowski was just, if he saw the good coverage by the Wolverines and just wanted to throw the ball away, at least in the vicinity of a receiver, or if that one just got away from him. But nonetheless, Wolverines face a 2nd and 5 here on defense.
Clock stopped, 8:47 to play here in the first quarter. Woodland Hills forced to punt after going 3 and out on their first drive. Mars got the ball at their own 49 and have driven the ball inside of the Woodland Hills 35 to the 32, facing this 2nd down and 5. And the ball is fumbled. Woodland Hills was all over the quarterback-running back exchange. There's Wolverines down at the bottom of the pile. Woody High comes out of there with the rock. It's a turnover, Woodland Hills football.
Michael Roman coming through looking like Troy Polamalu there. Read the snap so well, got through, and almost was able to take the ball just away from Tyler Kowalkowski. But he was able to force the fumble, and the Wolverines pounce on it, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight if they're going to want to win this game against Mars.
So it's going to be first and 10 for the Wolverines.
So fumble on the quarterback and running back exchange. And Woodland Hills gets the football at their own 31.
Mars fans and coaches thought he was offside, but from our angle, it looked like he just read that snap perfectly.
Yeah, I concur. Shotgun snap, handoff. Clark straight up the gut. He's got some room. He's close to the first down yardage. They're going to spot it right at the first down flag. A pickup of 10 for William Clark.
Very nice run by Clark. You can see that acceleration, and it will be a first down, in fact, for Woodland Hills. Thought the initial spot might have been a little bit short, but just a very nice run by William Clark, and gets the first Wolverines first down of the night.
So first and 10 for Woody High. The ball at the 43. Pistol formation, handoff. Clark running to his right, slides through a tackle, pushes his way forward, crosses the 45 out towards the 47-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Hunter Boyd, and that brings up a 2nd down and reasonably manageable 6.
Avoiding that blitzing Planet there was huge initially on the play, and William Clark was able to get a couple extra yards out of what looked like it might be a loss, and big 4 yards there, making this a 2nd and 6, knocking on the door of midfield.
Clock winding under 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. First round of the WPIAL playoffs between Woodland Hills and Mars. End around. Jay Smith taking it from right to left. Hit in the backfield and brought down. A big paw there by Michael Carmody. Just knocked Jay Smith to the turf. A loss of a couple of yards brings up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, the D1 recruit Michael Carmody coming through big there for Mars as he takes down Jay Smith, and that speed, if he was able to get past Carmody, he might have been able to get more along the edge, but unfortunately was taken down pretty quick, and the Wolverines now have a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I misspoke there. It was 3rd and 8 after Woodland Hills picked up about 4 on the first down, then lost 2. Low snap to Judson, and a flag comes in along the near sideline. And it looks like the defense was offsides, and that's going to benefit Woodland Hills. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 3. Now they're going to call it against Woodland Hills.
Yeah, I saw him put his hands on his waist, but apparently he was overruled. And now the Wolverines will be backed up, and now a 3rd and 13.
The line to gain is the Mars 47-yard line. The ball sits at the Woodland Hills 40. So again, third down and 13 for Woodland Hills. Judson in the shotgun. Twins to either side. Sidecar to his right. And he's going to send a man in motion from left to right. And Woodland Hills is going to be guilty of another false start. This may be a snap infraction against the center.
Just very unfortunate to see these penalties now. Nothing has changed the entire season. These penalties just keep on coming. Pre-snap penalties all night for the Wolverines yet again.
So Woodland Hills, their defense guilty of one thus far, and now their offense with two in a row. And what started out as second down and 6 is now third down and 19 with the ball back at the 35-yard line. Motion man Coleman from left to right, low snap. Judson looking right the whole way. He's going to throw it down this near right side, looking for Coleman. Coleman, one-handed catch, pulled it into his chest. It's a first down for Woodland Hills as he pulls it in at the 37-yard line.
The Toledo recruit, Mike Coleman, what a grab along the near side here. He tracked it the whole way. Unfortunately, a flag way back. We'll see. It might be holding on the Wolverines. It would be very unfortunate to call back such a huge play.
Roughing the passer. Good news for Woodland Hills for a change with a flag on the field. It's going to be another 15 on top of the big gain from Woodland Hills all the way to the 37-yard line. So Woodland Hills really flips that field.
Just a huge play. You're right, Adam. That's not what we were expecting there, but they benefit from a roughing the passer, and now you're right on the edge of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. See what the Wolverines can do here with this big opportunity early on in the game.
First down and 10 for Woody High. The ball at the 22. Two receivers left, two to the short side right as well as the ball's on the right hash. Judson in the shotgun, sidecar to his right in Clark. Handoff to Clark, cuts it up the middle, drives his way forward, picks up about a yard, maybe two to the 20. And that'll bring up second down and 8.
Yeah, it was a great catch by Mike Coleman. I think we also have to mention a great throw by Gavin Judson there. He put it in the exact spot if it was going to be caught by Mike Coleman. It was obviously a tough catch to make, but just a great play on both ends by Judson and Coleman. And only a couple there on first down, obviously. We'll see what the Wolverines can do here on second and 8.
Ball favoring the right hash, pistol formation, two receivers left, one to the short side right. Judson barks out signals, hands off to Clark. Clark cutting right, cutting it back to the left, inside of the 15, driving his way down towards the 12. That should be enough for a Woodland Hills first down.
Just a great run by William Clark there. So much power and able to evade some tackles and then get the first down. Just able to stretch enough to get that first down for the Wolverines. And they can still now at the 12-yard line still get one more first down before the end zone.
This WPIAL playoff broadcast brought to you by State Farm agent Brandon Green. First and 10 for Woodland Hills. The ball at the 12. Ball on the right hash as the Wolverines threaten for the first time today. Two receivers left, one to the short side right. Judson in the pistol. Delay handoff. Clark cutting his way inside of the 10 down towards the 9-yard line. A pickup of 3 brings up second down and 7.
Not a bad first down play for the Wolverines. We know they've had some trouble finishing drives. Seneca Valley had that, William Clark had that interception, took it all the way down to the 1-yard line. The Wolverines could not get in. So we'll see if they can change that here and just get into the end zone and not waste any more time.
5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless, but Woodland Hills threatens. Second down and 7 now at the Mars 9-yard line. Collision between Clark and Judson, but Clark still able to wiggle his way forward inside of the 5 to about the 4-yard line. And that'll bring up third and a reasonably manageable 2.
And that's when that William Clark acceleration comes through big, as he was able to, after running into Gavin Judson, start back up and get some key yardage there and put him in a third and manageable situation.
Wolverines trying to take advantage of a fumble on the quarterbacks and running back exchange by Tyler Kowalkowski. And his running back, it was recovered by Howes, and Woodland Hills has driven it all the way down to the Mars 4. Pistol formation. Judson's going to hand off. It's Clark hesitating, dancing, driving his way forward down towards the goal line. If he's not in, the ball came loose, and Mars came out of there with it. Woodland Hills drives the ball from their own 31 all the way down to the Planets' 1-yard line and then gives it away on a fumble by William Clark.
Just a horrendous outcome for the Wolverines. It looked like William Clark was actually going to be in the end zone. Looked like he was in the end zone, but the ball must have come through first, or he just didn't reach the end zone. It's hard to tell from our angle. And now Mars will have the ball at their own 1-yard line, and that just gives them so much confidence and momentum now after a play like that.
Yeah, Woodland Hills was a yard away
It will be first and 10 with the ball
from
at the 6-inch line.
taking a lead in this football game, but instead they give it away.
Wolverines have given up some safeties this year. Hopefully they can get one of their own here now. We'll see what Mars decides to do, if they try and get creative or if they just try and go up the middle with some of their big boys up front.
Kowalkowski steps under center, one back behind him, and he is going to be met as Kowalkowski as he keeps it over the left side at the line of scrimmage, but is able to shove his way around some tacklers and get it out to the 3-yard line before a second wave of Wolverines bring him down.
Yeah, Wolverines had him stopped initially, but he was able to break free and get a couple key yards to give the Mars Fighting Planets some breathing room.
Tackled by several of the Wolverines.
Teddy Ruffner with a nice clear-out block there, pushing a Wolverine down towards the middle of the formation. Armani Bailey was taken down towards the center of that formation, and that allowed the quarterback, Kowalkowski, to roll out to that left-hand side and pick up a couple. 2nd and 8 now, ball on the 3. Handoff will go to
And he brings the ball off to
Renke, and Renke drives his way forward out across the 5 towards the 8-yard line, and that brings up 3rd and a manageable 2.
A very nice run by Ranke there. He got much more breathing room for the Mars Fighting Planets there. Wolverines had a tough time bringing them down on that play. We'll see what they can do in this 3rd and short. This is a key opportunity for the defense to get a big, big stop for the offense.
Woodland Hills started the game with the ball, punted it away. Then Mars fumbled, gave it to Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills started at their own 31, drove down to the Mars 1 where Woodland Hills fumbled, and now Mars has the ball, facing a 3rd down and 2 at the 9. Pitch to the right-hand side where Renke is the ball carrier. He's going to have enough for the first down out towards the 15, make it the 16-yard line, and it's first down for Mars.
Yeah, the Mars offensive line really sealed off that edge well, and it was tough for the Wolverines to break through, and he had plenty of running room. Actually lucky that Wolverines should be lucky he didn't get more than he did, but he got the important first down, so the defense has to step up now.
.240 to play here in quarter number 1. Woodland Hills and Mars knotted up at 0 apiece. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Split backs behind the quarterback, Kowalkowski. He's going to roll to his near side left. He's pressured, rolling back to the right. Has a receiver wide open over there, and it's Drew Schlegel down the far boundary. Schlegel finally shouldered out of bounds, but it's inside of Woodland Hills territory at the 45-yard line. And Mars, who started this drive at their own 1, now has it inside of Woodland Hills territory at the 45.
Yeah, the Wolverines came on the blitz, and it looked like it was working out so well, but then Kowalkowski just did a great job of finding the open man who was wide open for Mars, and a huge gain puts them in a great situation now inside Wolverines territory.
Clock stopped right now here in the first quarter, but the first 10 minutes of this first quarter have elapsed very quickly, as both teams have kept the ball on the ground for the most part. Split backs behind Kowalkowski. He's going to run the counter to the near side left. The ball carrier Schlegel, who just had the reception, he is met in the backfield and driven to the turf. 2 or 3 yard loss, and that'll bring up 2nd down and make it 13 as they'll spot that ball at the 48.
That's what the Wolverines have to do. They got to stop those running plays quick and early in drives and early in series of downs so they can put Mars back on their heels and make them pass the ball.
Johnson was a 2017 graduate. He finished his career.
Clock winding now, 1:45 in quarter number 1.
Congratulations tonight.
Woodland Hills a bit dejected right now after taking the ball away from Mars, driving it all the way down to the Planets 1, fumbling the ball, and now Mars has it on the Woodland Hills side of the field at the 48, but they face a 2nd down and 13. Kowalkowski rolling to his right. He's pressured, he throws, and he throws into the Woodland Hills bench for an incomplete pass, and that brings up 3rd down and 13.
I love to see the Wolverines blitzing more. You know, this is a running team, and even when they pass the ball and you blitz, you're still getting a lot of penetration. That's what just forced him to throw the ball away, Kowalkowski. So great job by the Wolverines keeping up with the blitz.
Under 90 seconds to play. Clock stopped here in the first quarter. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Yard line.
It's the 13 versus 4 matchup in the WPIAL playoffs. 2 receivers right, 2 to the near side left. Kowalkowski on the draw handoff. Woodland Hills was not fooled as Renke, the ball carrier, was met in the backfield, banged around, and then brought down. The first Wolverine there was Roman, and then he got a little help from his friends, and that'll bring up 4th down and 14 after the loss of 1, and the punt unit has to come on for Mars.
Easy to get fooled on a play like that when you're looking pass on 3rd and long, but the Wolverines defense did a great job of reading it and stopping Renke before he could get anywhere.
Long time before the punt snap is snapped, and Schlegel will get it away, and it'll take a neutral bounce initially and then bounce out of bounds after rolling kind of in favor of Mars, out of bounds at the 24. So Woodland Hills will start their 3rd drive of the game inside of their own 25.
We'll see how the offense responds. You know, a very good drive, and then fumbling at the 1-yard line can be so tough on a team, but we'll see. They got a chance now after the defense let up a big play, but they were able to close the door after that. Now the offense has a big chance to go right down the field again. Really discourage the Mars defense.
1st and 10 at the 24. Bunch to the right, 1 receiver left. Woodland Hills in the Wildcat. Maybe some movement before the snap, but no flags fly as Coleman's going to keep it himself, running to the right-hand side. Crosses the 25 out to the 29, a pickup of 5, and it's 2nd down and 5.
Hey, you know, I love to see it. Wolverines have pulled out the Wildcat in years past, and it has worked out very well for them. In fact, on the first play they did a couple years ago, Saeed Holt took it for a touchdown. Then Nazir Taylor took it for a touchdown on the first play when they did it. A nice run by Mike Coleman there. We'll see if they continue it.
Coleman running to his left-hand side this time. Spins his way forward across the 30, out to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 3. Brings up 3rd down and about 2. And that should be the final play of the first quarter. We played 12 minutes of football, and we're scoreless here at the Mars Athletic Complex. We'll be back with more of the Wolverines and the Mars Planets here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Farm agent Brandon Green wants to help you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize your dreams. You can visit his office, conveniently located in the Forest Hills Plaza. Give him a call at 412-824-4800 or visit his website at greencoverage.com. Whether you're looking for insurance, banking, or annuities, State Farm agent Brandon Green is here to help life go right.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at the Mars Athletic Complex, Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you. This game and the broadcast rights of this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL and the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Any broadcast of this game intended exclusively for the benefit of the listening and viewing audience. Any use, rebroadcast, distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of the WPIAL and Trib Total Media, as well as the Woodland Hills Football Network, is strictly prohibited. 3rd and 2 for Woody High. The ball at their own 31. Handoff, Meredith lowers the shoulder, drives his way across the 35, and that'll be enough for a Woodland Hills first down, approaching the 36.
Nice to see Anthony Meredith getting some carries now. You know, both Wolverines running back have taken a pretty decent load on the year. Both of them have over 700 yards rushing. Meredith 154 carries, William Clark 110 carries. We've seen a little bit more of William Clark recently, as Meredith has had to play a bigger role in defense with the absence of Sidney Summers.
Clock winding, 11:40 to play in the first half. Handoff. Meredith dancing his way towards the line of scrimmage. He'll get all the way out to the 36 before being brought to the turf, so it is a gain of 1 there. They had initially spotted the ball on the previous play past the 35 towards the 36. They set it at the 35. Now it's 2nd and 9 for Woodland Hills at the 36.
Yeah, there was not much doing there for the Wolverines on first down, but see how they can follow that up here.
Clock winding towards 11 minutes to play in the second quarter. 2 receivers split to either side. Ball in the middle of the field. Judson in the pistol. Looks right, throws right, the pass complete. Jay Smith slides past the tackler across the 40 as he bursts towards the 45-yard line. They're going to mark him out at the 43, and that brings up a 3rd down and very manageable 2.
Yeah, there was a nice play by Jay Smith, and you could see that Jay Smith Michael Carmody was kind of lined up a little further outside of his normal defensive end spot, which gave Jay Smith the ability to get out there quick on his route. Now some miscommunication on the Mars sideline and on the field, and guy coming off the field late. They're going to call a timeout, I think.
Yeah, Mars is going to have to burn a timeout, and that'll allow us to take a breather too. 10:59 to play here in the second quarter. It's scoreless as you're tuned into the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
10:59 to play, second quarter. Woodland Hills and Mars tied up at 0 apiece. In the first round of the WPIAL playoffs, it's the 4 versus 13 matchup in this 5A first round. Low snap, Judson, hands off, Meredith dancing, now burst free, inside of the 50 to the 40, still on his feet, 35-30, 25-20, to the 15, to the 10, sliding his way past the tackler into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown, covering 57 yards.
Just a huge run by Anthony Meredith there on a 3rd and short. You're just hoping you get the first down, but Meredith breaks through the defense, and just a great run, nice speed at the end there to get away from the last couple Planets. Big play for the Wolverines to respond after that really tough fumble at the 1-yard line.
So Chucky Hanchett comes on to attempt the point after touchdown, as Woodland Hills has struck first here in this WPIAL playoff game. They were a yard away on their last drive. They get it into the end zone there on the big 57-yard TD. High snap, good hold. The kick up just clears the crossbar, and it's good.
Looked like they may got a piece of that. Sorry.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it between the uprights and over the crossbar.
That's all you got to do.
It's 7-0 Woodland Hills on top of the Mars Planets. It's the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
57-yard touchdown by Anthony Meredith, and Woodland Hills takes the lead on the Mars Planets 7-0. 10:48 to play here in the second quarter. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the call for you here at the Mars Athletic Complex, adjacent to Mars Area Middle School in Mars, PA, way far north of the city of Pittsburgh. Good to have you along with us here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And over-end kick will carry down to the 10-yard line, where it'll be returned. Over to that far boundary goes the return man, Recchia, and Recchia forced out of bounds at the 25.
Pretty nice return there. Saw some speed, but just ran out of room along the sidelines. Good job by the Wolverines to seal that up and not let him go anywhere.
So Woodland Hills, their second drive of the game, started at their own 31. They took it all the way down to the Mars 1 before fumbling. Mars punted on their ensuing drive. Woodland Hills took over at their own 24 and capped off a drive of 76 yards with a 57-yard touchdown. And now Mars takes over at their own 25 here in the second quarter with 10:43 to play. Carry to the right-hand side, and nowhere to go for Renke as he is met at the line of scrimmage. Open field tackle by Michael Coleman.
Definitely looked like some early movement by the right tackle, Michael Carmody there by Mars, but nonetheless, the Wolverines stopped that quick. No gains. You'll take it now, 2nd and 10.
Clock winding, 10:15 to play here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills taking on the Mars Planets in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs. Woodland Hills on top 7-zip. Split backs behind Kowalkowski, the quarterback. He's going to hand off. Schlegel's trying to spin his way to the left-hand side, crosses the line of scrimmage, picks up a yard or two before he is brought down. Couldn't get to that third level as Woodland Hills kept him at bay. Tackle made by Jeffrey Williams.
Yeah, Schlegel saw a lot of greenery in front of him, but he was unable to keep his feet there. And Wolverines had a lot to do with that as they were able to get him down quick there. And now, pretty decent third down here. Wolverines have to get a big stop here to get that ball back in the offense's hand.
Kowalkowski in the pistol. Two receivers to either side. Ball in the middle of the field. High snap. Kowalkowski rolling to his right, setting his feet, nearly intercepted. Michael Coleman looked like he had a beat on the football, but he collided with a teammate as he tried to step in front of Schlegel, and that'll bring the punt unit on.
Yeah, it would have been a big play for the Wolverines, but it looks like you're right. Adam Talon Brooks and Mike Coleman just collided there, but it was great defense to make the stop, and now see what the Wolverines can do. Maybe Jay Smith gets a returnable punt here.
Again, Schlegel is the punter. He's punted twice today, or he will have punted twice after this punt. Some movement over here on the right side. The wing on the right. Andrew Recchia moved early, and that's going to back up the Planets 5 yards.
There we go, pre-snap penalty, not on the Wolverines, that's key. Back them up a little bit more. Just got to hope that Jay Smith gets something returnable here so he can use that speed. I know he's chomping at the bit to get that opportunity as he's standing right at midfield.
Schlegel awaiting the snap. Again, the long snapper taking an awful long time and finally does get it back to him and gets him back to him quickly. End over end punt takes a bounce in favor of Mars and it'll bounce out of bounds at the 44 where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. And this their best starting field position of the game.
Definitely starting with very good field position here are the Woodland Hills Wolverines, and another big opportunity to get into the end zone again and start to discourage Mars. They're not used to playing from behind, that's for sure, at a 9-1 record.
So the Planets will have the football, or rather the Wolverines will have the football. Approaching Planets territory already at their own 44. Judson, pistol, hands off. Clark running to the right, gathers his feet, turns the corner. Driving his way towards the 50-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 49 for a pickup of 5.
Almost able to break through those last couple of tackles there, but the Mars Fighting Planets just got him by the shoestrings, and they're able to bring him down along the right side as William Clark gets a nice run after the missed tackle by Michael Carmody there. Right around midfield now, about the 49.5-yard line.
Two receivers to the near side left, one to the far boundary right. Judson in the pistol. Toss to the near side. Jay Smith on the catch. Inside of the 50, inside of the 45 to the 40, still on his feet, and shoved out of bounds inside of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for Woody High.
Nice pass by Judson. Nice pull in there by Jay Smith on the run a little bit. He already had his feet moving. He saw the hole, and a nice gain and 1st down for the Wolverines.
For the Wolverines. Ball is at the 38-yard line.
8:26 clock stopped here in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills on top 7-0 on the Mars Planets. Two receivers split to either side. Judson in the pistol. Hard count. Judson hands off. Clark met in the backfield but slides past the tackler. Now tries to shimmy his way through a pair of Planets but can't. He's brought down at the 40.
It was just a really nice blitz there by Mars, and Judson didn't have enough time to pick it up and maybe change the play call. But Clark broke that first tackle, but just too many Planets there to clean it up and take him down for a loss of 2.
So 2nd and 12 for Woody High as the clock winds to 8 minutes to play here in the second frame.
Curious if we'll see that Wildcat again, Adam. I liked there's some success on it for the Wolverines. We'll see if they decide to throw it at Mars again.
Two receivers left, one to the far boundary right. Judson in the pistol. Looks right, then looks back to the left. Tosses to the near boundary, and he's going to get rid of it. He was in the vicinity of Coleman, but nowhere near Michael Coleman, as I'm not sure if that play had broken down and Judson just got rid of it, or if it was designed to be a pass.
Yeah, tough to say there, but Judson just gets rid of the ball, makes the safe play there. Unfortunately, he's taken a decent amount of sacks this year, and not at his fault. It's just, some plays that broke down early on the offensive line, and he's faced a lot of pressure, but a good job there getting rid of the ball. And now the Wolverines have a 3rd and long.
3rd down and a dozen. 7:37 to play, second quarter. Ball in the right hash. The Wolverines split 2 receivers to either side. Whistles blow before the snap. And they're going to move the ball closer to the middle of the field. They're going to split the difference between the right hash and the center of the field. Two receivers split to either side. Judson rolls to his left. Now settles and throws. Has Coleman between 2 defenders, but leaping up and making the interception is Andrew Recchia for Mars. He's running from right to left across the field. Recchia to the far boundary. Finally steps out of bounds as he crosses the 30 out towards the 33-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Mars. They spot it at the 34.
Not the worst thing in the world for the Wolverines. Obviously, you would love to convert that 3rd down, but if you don't, chances are you're not going to. So we've had some snap issues. So now that you got to hope the defense can stand tough as they have so far tonight and get a quick stop. Just a tough play there. Good play by Mars too. Recchia on the interception there, as Mike Coleman would have had a shot at that had he not made that play.
Yeah, Coleman had stepped between those 2 defenders and got some separation, but the pass from Judson just wasn't long enough. So Mars takes over at their own 34. 7:23 to play in the half. The big back running from left to right, breaking free, Teddy Ruffner, and Teddy Ruffner is finally hauled down out near the midfield stripe by Taiwan Milton.
And now things really starting to go Mars' way there, as Ruffner didn't have much running room but made one key, very nice cut, as he just stopped on a dime and was able to cut back up the field, and that's what got him the majority of the yardage there. And the Wolverines defense has to tighten up here as Mars is entering Wolverine territory.
First and 10, ball at the midfield stripe. Motion man from right to left, delay handoff. And the ball carrier is Renke, and Renke's brought down a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. Knifing through and making the play for Woodland Hills in the backfield, Taiwan Milton.
Good job by the Wolverines defense there, not getting fooled by any misdirection there. Taking down Renke right away.
.6:53 as the clock winds here in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills on top of the Mars Planets by a score of 7-0. First round of the WPIAL 5A playoffs. This the 4 versus 13 matchup. Mars the 4, the Wolverines the 13. Play action. Gwalkowski looking, trying to set up a screen. The Wolverines were all over it as Taiwan Milton had sniffed that one out from the get-go, and there was nowhere for Garrett Renke to go.
Just great job by the defense to read that screen pass right from the get-go. And then you're right, Taiwan Milton was right there to clean it up. You actually wanted him to catch that ball. He didn't come up with it. It would have been a loss, but it was an incomplete pass, and now the Wolverines have to stop this 3rd and 11.
Clock stop, 6:22 to play in the second quarter. Planets with the football at their own 49 after taking it to the midfield stripe a couple of plays ago. High snap, Gwalkowski looking to go to the air, and as he tries to get it out to Drew Schlegel, Schlegel did all he could to pull that in. Dove, tipped it to himself with his own right hand, but couldn't pull it in the breadbasket, and the incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 11, and the punt unit is on for the Mars Planets.
We've already seen one phenomenal grab tonight, that by Mike Coleman. This was almost another one. This one would have been by Mars and Drew Schlegel, but unable to come up with it, and Wolverines defense gets a big stop and forces the punt.
Jay Smith back deep to return. Schlegel will punt it away again for Mars. Gets it away cleanly End over end punt. Caught over the shoulder by Smith. And Smith slides through tacklers, spinning past the second wave before he's shouldered down as he approaches the 20. They're going to say he gets to the 18. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills there. This WPIAL playoff broadcast brought to you by State Farm agent Brandon Green. We thank you for joining us pregame for the State Farm agent Brandon Green pregame show. And stay tuned at halftime. It'll be the State Farm agent Brandon Green halftime show.
Great job by Jay Smith there, pulling in that punt over his shoulder. It was tough to pull that in. It was very high. It was a nice punt. And a little nice return there, able to get through the first initial wave of Mars Fighting Plants. Now the offense has to do the work.
Handoff, and Meredith runs to his right. A flag came in right as the ball was snapped. And we'll check in with our officials on this one.
And this goes against the Wolverines.
And it's going to be against Woodland Hills as they started this drive at their own 18, and they're going to be pushed back to the 13 on the pre-snap penalty.
15. Clock stopped exactly at 6 minutes remaining in the half.
Half of the second quarter is gone. Woodland Hills on top of Mars, 7-0. And it's a procedural penalty against Woody High as the referee finally gives us the call. 5 yards are marched off, and like I said, 1st and 15 at the 13. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Shaler at West Allegheny next Friday night. Low snap, handoff, big hole. Meredith approaching the first down marker as he crosses the 25. He'll get to the 26-yard line. And a nice pickup there from the 13 out to the 26. Brings up a 2nd down and very manageable 2.
Actually, that hit by Mars may have given Wolverines an extra yard as Meredith toppled over. Got a couple extra yards, actually, may have got 2, but I think the delay on the prior play was, it looked like Mars initially wanted to decline the penalty, but they couldn't decline it. So made it 1st and 15, now 2nd and short.
And this time the handoff going to go to a Wolverine. Up the middle goes Meredith, and a flag came in near the end of the play from the umpire, and we're going to have to check in to see what this penalty is. There was no gain on the play by Meredith on that play.
Very late flag, and intrigued to see what this could be, especially if it's on the Wolverines, if it was holding that late in the play. Looks like Mars is backing up, though.
And that's good news for Woodland Hills.
Definitely free 1st down. May have been a face mask because they looked like they're moving 15 yards.
Well, I didn't quite see with the official what exactly that call was, but they will march off 15 yards, and that's good news for the Woodland Hills Wolverines as that ball is pushed up towards midfield to the 42-yard line. Pistol formation. Judson takes the low snap, hands off Clark. He has a crease. He crosses the 45 out towards the 50-yard line. A 2nd and very manageable 2 here after that pickup of 8.
You know, in your team like Woodland Hills that likes to run the ball a lot, not so much consistency. You want to get those big chunks of yardage on 1st down to make 2nd and 3rd down more manageable, and that's exactly what William Clark did right there on the offensive line, able to get 8 yards.
2 receivers left, 1 to the far boundary right, the ball on the right hash. Judson's in the pistol. Low snap again, but he gathers it in and hands off. Clark trying to run to the left as he bounces it to the outside. Inside of Planet's territory, inside of the 45. They'll mark him down at the 43. And there's a flag near the line of scrimmage, and this may negate a Woodland Hills 1st down.
Another very late flag there. If it's holding, is especially late, because it was nowhere near the play.
So it is a hold against Woodland Hills, and it came from the referee who was standing behind the play and probably had a decent vantage point of what was going on there. And I mean, as we take a look at our replay, I don't see any evidence of holding near the line of scrimmage as Clark burst free.
Yeah,
that's
not
a tough
sure.
break for the Wolverines.
Certainly, excuse me, Adam. I don't know who that could have been against there, but possibly maybe Jaden Lucas at the end of the play, but that would have been a really tough call for the Wolverines.
Judson Throws it far sideline for Smith. Smith slides past two tacklers, still on his feet, and then he is muscled as he's pushed back towards the 40-yard line after getting out towards the 41. A pickup of just about a yard on that play, bringing up 3rd down and 11.
Instead of a 1st and 10 in Mars territory and getting close to the end of the first half, now you're facing a 3rd and long inside your own territory. That's a back-breaking penalty there on the Wolverines. But possibly you can see some 3rd down magic from Gavin Judson in the receiving corps here.
3rd and 11 for Woody High. The ball at the 41. The line to gain is the Mars 48-yard line. Judson hard count. Hands off. Clark trying to bounce it to the outside left. Meets a host of blue jerseys as he gets out towards the 45. And the punt unit is going to come on here. And I think that probably was just as much trying to get some yardage to play the field position game as anything.
Yeah, I think when your defense is playing well as they are, I think Coach Tim Boster just wanted to see maybe if he could catch the Mars Fighting Planets off guard there and break through a hole, but no, they were ready for it. They're a pretty stout defense, and Wolverines are forced to punt.
Which is Corey Fusco.
Good snap this time to Hanchett, and Hanchett gets away. A knuckling punt that'll be fair, caught by Schlegel. He bobbled it, still losing it, and finally will pick it up. And the first contact was at the 24, and then gathered it in out near the 27-yard line. But since the first contact on the fair catch was at the 24, that's where the ball will be placed.
That was a close one there that almost slipped out of the hands of Schlegel as he called the fair catch. And good job by the Wolverines there to not really blow up Schlegel, because they certainly could have as he was trying to corral that ball. And that was Garrett Ranke there. Excuse me, not Garrett Ranke, Cameron Mara there for the Wolverines. Did a nice job of holding up.
And the officials were conversing for quite a while near midfield, and now the referee headed over to talk to Woodland Hills head coach Tim Bostard to determine what he wants to do with what we assume is a penalty against the Mars Planets. We'll have to check in with our referee to confirm. Okay, a call I certainly wasn't at all familiar with by the official. And the referee is now going to talk to Coach Heinauer on the near sideline, the head coach of the Mars Planets.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what we're getting here, but the ball stay at the 20, will be at the 25 here. So.
Okay.
And
the ball initially was spotted at the 24. They'll say the 25. Doesn't really matter at this point. Mars has the ball with 3 minutes to play, just over 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Kowalkowski off of play action, finds a wide open receiver, and it was in and out of the hands of Drew Schlegel. Schlegel got separation from the defensive back Jeffrey Williams, but he just couldn't hang on to it.
Just a big break for Woodland Hills there. Schlegel probably would have been gone. I don't think anybody would have been able to catch him unless somebody had an angle. Nice pass by Kowalkowski. Ooh, just dropped by Schlegel. And it looks like the second man in. Thank you, Adam. I'm not sure if that was Jaden Lucas or Mike Coleman. Probably would have been able to catch him there, but nonetheless, a big break for the Wolverines. Now the defense has a chance to get the ball back.
2:58 to play here in the second quarter. Pitch. And the running back running to the left-hand side is Garrett Ranke, and Ranke drives his way out towards the 29-yard line before he's driven to the turf by a few Wolverines, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about a half a dozen for Mars. The line to gain is the 35.
Looked like Ranke was pretty excited. He had some running room along the left side, but then Mike Coleman stepped in and put an end to that for Woodland Hills. Very nice tackle by Mike Coleman to put Mars in a 3rd and pretty tough, about 6 yards here. See what they look to do if they go to the air or if they decide to keep the ball on the ground. It's a tough call when you have a good running game, as does the Mars Fighting Planets.
Clock winding, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Ball on the left hash. Kowalkowski steps under center, looking right the whole way, throwing to his right-hand side. Splitting defenders was the receiver, Andrew Recchia, and Recchia didn't make a whole lot of effort to get to that football, Eric, as he had a Wolverine converging on him, and Tavian Brooks. But I think Recchia probably had an opportunity to try to make that play and really didn't.
Yeah, it's a little bit discomforting to see how open some of these receivers are for Mars, but the ball just being a little bit overthrown. But you're right, Adam. After looking at the instant replay, he definitely could have made an attempt to catch that ball, try and dive, but he didn't, and now the Wolverines will benefit. they will punt the ball away, Mars.
Yeah, Schlegel back there to punt, standing at his own 15. And a knuckling punt will be caught on the fly by Jay Smith. Breaks free. There's a flag behind the play, as there may have been an illegal block against Woodland Hills. Unfortunately, Zachary Threats, I don't know if it was a block in the back or a blindside block, but either way, this is going to cost Woodland Hills a decent return by Jay Smith.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty there. Instead of starting in Mars territory, now you're going to push yourself all the way back. Again, something the Wolverines just constantly do, shooting themselves in the foot. And in the playoffs, it's tough to do that. You got a guy like Jay Smith who can blow past defenders. You don't need to put blocks like that on guys who have no chance of tackling him.
So the officials conferring here, trying to determine from where they should mark off this penalty. And they're going to say from the 36-yard line. And they're going to say it's a block in the back against Woodland Hills. And that's going to back them up from the 36 back to the 26-yard line.
It was so fast moving there, it was tough to see. You're right, Adam, if it was a blindside block or just a straight block in the back. See if we can get another look at it. Yeah, it looked maybe even more like a blindside block, actually. It looked like he got his shoulder. Looked like a legit block, but just a little blindside. Unfortunately, cost the Wolverines yardage.
Two receivers left as the handoff will go to Meredith. He'll drive his way forward out towards the 30, picking up 4 yards, and it's 2nd down and 6 for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Tim Boster wants to do here. It looks like he's going to be content to just run the ball a few times, hold on to the ball, and get into the locker room. There's not much of a sense of urgency from Woodland Hills, and I can't totally blame him right now, as you have a 7-0 lead on the road in the playoffs.
Low snap. Now Coleman's going to run to the right out of the Wildcat. He's got the first down, crossing that first down flag out towards the 38-yard line. The clock will stop as they set the chains.
Yeah, I like bringing the Wildcat back there, unsuspecting is Mars. And, the key thing about the Wildcat for the Wolverines is they haven't run it at all this year, so Mars hasn't had a chance to see it at all on film. And when you combine something that's a little complex like the Wildcat with the talent the Wolverines have, it's tough to stop it.
Pistol formation, Judson looking left, pumps left, now throws to Jay Smith. Smith going to reverse his field, running to the far sideline. Woodland Hills has to watch out for a block in the back here. They'll escape that, and Smith won't escape a planet as he crosses the 35 to the 36. He is brought down on that far boundary by Mitchell Wright for Mars.
Yeah, I like the attempt at Smith to reverse his field and get some yardage with all his speed, but there were too many planets there who were ready for it, so it was unsuccessful, and he did get out of bounds too, so the clock stopped. Now that puts Wolverines in a tough situation here.
Handoff, Meredith running to the right-hand side. Lowers the shoulder as he crosses the 40 out to the 41-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 8. And Woodland Hills will just continue to take time off of the board. And Mars is in no hurry to call any timeouts in this circumstance.
Yeah, neither is Woodland Hills. They just want the clock to run out. That's how it looks. And see what happens here. Going to be a little bit of a difference. Looking around, Adam, I don't see a 25-second clock.
Clock under 15 seconds here in the second quarter as Judson rolls to his right, throws to his right, looking for Coleman in the incomplete pass. We'll bring the punt unit on with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have tried to pass the ball there if I'm the Wolverines. You have a lot of snapping issues, and you're running the clock down, and you stop the clock now, and if Woodland Hills has a bad snap here, could give Mars the ball back with just enough time to run a play. Looks like Mars Fighting Planet is down at the field right now. Ben Chismar right around midfield.
And he's being tended to by the athletic training staff. Now, we said it already, but the winner of this game takes on the winner of West Allegheny taking on Shaler. That game taking place in Imperial, Pennsylvania as we speak. This game is the 4 versus 13 matchup. That game, the 5-12 matchup.
Yeah, looking around, you see one score update. We got Upper St. Clair and McKeesport tied at 7 right around halftime. Peters Township up big right now, 28-0 against Armstrong.
Haven't gotten a score from Gateway, but from what I understand, Gateway had put together 100 yards of rushing in the first 6 minutes of the first quarter.
Oh, my. No surprise there. Lots of talent in Gateway. At Gateway right now, Derek Davis and Courtney Jackson, Jeremy Joseph. So many weapons that the Gators have.
So Chucky Hanchett will punt this one away with 10 seconds to go in the second quarter. And Woodland Hills wants to make sure they get the ball away, number one, and number two, make the stop. Decent snap. Hanchett gets it away. End over end punt. Takes a neutral bounce, and now will die at the 32-yard line. And that'll do it for quarter number two. We head to the locker room with Woodland Hills leading the Mars Planets by a score of 7-0. And through 24 minutes of action, you've got to be happy if you're a Wolverine fan.
Certainly the defense has played great at them, and the offense has done just enough. Unfortunately, that fumble at the 1-yard line really hurt the Wolverines, but they responded well to that. Good to be up by 7 right now.
We are going to step away for 90 seconds, and when we return, our halftime coverage will get underway as we will take a run through the first half drive updates. It's the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for over 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and the Zubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network Halftime Show.
Back at the Mars Athletic Complex in this WPIAL 5A first-round playoff game. It's the Woodland Hills Wolverines leading the Mars Planets by a halftime score of 7-0. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we are now in the State Farm agent Brandon Green halftime show. And Eric, before we went to the break, we already said it. If you're a Wolverine fan or a Wolverine, you've got to be happy with what went on through the first 24 minutes of action.
Certainly great play by the defense so far. A couple miscommunications in coverage that left some Mars Fighting Planets wide open, but luckily they weren't able to, cash in on that. And the defense has played great. The offense has done enough so far, and they carry a 7-0 lead into the locker room.
Let's take a look at the drive summary of the first half. Now, Woodland Hills got the ball first, and they were forced to punt. Now, it was a precarious situation on the punt because the snap eluded Chucky Hanchett. He retreated all the way back towards the 15-yard line, somehow got a punt away, and somehow got a positive punt away in the process, and that ball carried out to the Mars 49-yard line. Now, Mars got the ball down to the Woodland Hills 31 on their first drive of the game, and a fumbled exchange between their quarterback and their running back, and the ball came loose, and Wolverines got it. It was DeJuan Howells jumping on the football Woodland Hills started the next drive at their own 31, drove all the way down to the Mars 1-yard line, but a fumble by William Clark recovered by Mars at the 1, and Mars got the ball. They drove the ball out towards midfield, actually got the ball into Woodland Hills territory before they punted it away, and that's when Woodland Hills got the lone score of the game. Early in the second quarter, it was a 57-yard touchdown run by Anthony Meredith. The PAT by Chucky Hanchett made it 7-0. Mars punts. Woodland Hills throws an interception, and then a trio of punts in a row, and then a punt by Woodland Hills on the final play of the half, and we go into the locker room with Woodland Hills leading the Mars Planets 7-0.
Yeah, that fumble by the Wolverines was devastating, but on their next drive to get that huge run from Anthony Meredith was just a great result for the Wolverines, and now they have to stay with the way they've been playing because we've seen how things can turn around against West Allegheny. Woodland Hills was down 7-0, came right back in the game and dominated the second half, ultimately to lose, but they have to keep it up and be consistent.
For our audience that is listening live, you can listen to the Woodland Hills and Mars marching bands. And if you're watching one of our replays on any of our TV affiliates or on our YouTube channel, we'll be right back as the State Farm agent Brandon Green halftime show continues. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Mars Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to the State Farm agent Brandon Green halftime show. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And if you're a Woodland Hills fan, you're happy. If you're a Mars Planets fan, you're a little bit shocked headed into the locker room with your team, the fourth-seeded team in the WPIAL playoffs, trailing Woodland Hills.
Yeah, they played with the lead the majority of the season, obviously with a 9-1 record. Wolverines have done a great job of containing star running back Garrett Ranke, who's over 1,700 yards on the year, leading rusher in 5A, and the second leading rusher in all of the WPIALs, so that's impressive. Wolverines defense has to keep it up, though. They can't take any breaks because Mars is ready to strike at any moment.
Woodland Hills on top of the Mars Planets at halftime by a score of 7-0. It's the State Farm agent Brandon Green halftime show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. We're going to step away for a couple of minutes, and when we return, it'll be more of the halftime show here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
State Farm agent Brandon Green wants to help you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize your dreams. You can visit his office, conveniently located in the Forest Hills Plaza. Give him a call at 412-824-4800 or visit his website at greencoverage.com. Whether you're looking for insurance, banking, or annuities, State Farm agent Brandon Green is here to help life go right.
Dawn and John at Matthews Auto Service have been serving the Turtle Creek Valley for over 40 years. In addition to being a full-service gas station, Matthews offers oil changes, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, and light mechanical work. Matthews Auto Service, Monroeville Avenue in Turtle Creek, or call them at 412-824-0940.
Thanks for tuning in to the halftime show on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Woodland Hills Football is presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, Patrick D. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and the Zubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the second half.
Woodland Hills leading the Mars Planets at halftime by a score of 7-0. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, wrapping up our State Farm agent Brandon Green halftime show. We want to thank State Farm agent Brandon Green for presenting our television broadcast of this Friday night's game here in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs. Again, Woodland Hills will take on the winner, or hopefully Woodland Hills, but either Woodland Hills or Mars will take on the winner of West Allegheny hosting Shaler in the 5-12 matchup out in Imperial, Pennsylvania tonight.
Another score we didn't have before, Franklin Regional on top of Bethel Park by 21. A bit of a surprise on the road at Bethel Park, a tough place to play, and maybe that just proves how good Gateway is as they crushed Franklin Regional early in the season by about 60 points.
And I think it may be an indication of how reasonably, quite frankly, pedestrian the Allegheny 8 conference is. I mean, Woodland Hills took West Allegheny and Upper St. Clair to the wire. Upper St. Clair didn't score an offensive touchdown against the Wolverines. Well, the Wolverines were an inch away from winning the game at West Allegheny. So, you know, when you take a look at this Allegheny 8 conference, it was so wide open. Other than Peters Township, it's not much of a surprise that those other teams are struggling here in the playoffs. End-over-end kick as we are underway in the second half. The ball to the far sideline where the return man for Mars, Andrew Recchia, steps out of bounds.
Another nice job by the Wolverines special teams. Not let Recchia get any further.
Woodland Hills traveling pretty well this evening over there on that far sideline. The Woodland Hills fans have done a nice job of making a nice fan representation on that far boundary for this WPIL 5A playoff game, and a very far trip for Woodland Hills, to say the least. 1st and 10 for Mars. First play of the second half is a big run up the middle for the Planets, bouncing off of tacklers and a first down. So the Mars Planets, it's Ranke taking that out to the 40-yard line. And you know, the Mars fans below us, they wanted a penalty against Woodland Hills. The result of that play is head and shoulders above what a 5-yard penalty would have been.
Yeah, it certainly looked like DeJuan Howes was in the neutral zone, but it doesn't matter. Ranke ran right through the Wolverines defense, and that was a great play for Mars to start the second half. Wolverines have to close the door here. They can't let them get this confidence here early on.
Pitch, Ranke running to the right-hand side. He is met near the line of scrimmage and brought down after picking up about 2 out to the 42.
Great pursuit by the Wolverines there, not letting Ranke get through a hole as Zachary Threats had 2 blockers on him, but then a couple more Wolverines, Tywon Milton, DeJuan Howes in there to clean up the business there, and put the Mars Fighting Planets in a 2nd and 8.
Ball at the 42-yard line. The line to gain is the midfield stripe. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Clock winding towards 10:50 to play in the third quarter. As Kowalkowski steps under center, and he will hand off. The second back through is Teddy Ruffner, and Ruffner is met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Nowhere to go as he was met by Caleb Brevard.
Great job by the Wolverines to stack that up. Looked like some possible early movement along the front line of Mars, but no whistle, and the Wolverines will take it as now 3rd and 9 for Mars.
So 3rd down and 9, the ball at the 41 after that 1-yard loss. 10:18 as the clock winds here in the third quarter. 2 receivers split left, 2 to the short side right, including a wing. High snap, and whistles blow as there is movement along that offensive front against Mars prior to the snap.
That'll push the Fighting Planets back, and big opportunity for the Wolverines now. Maybe get a sack and push them back even further. You got to see the play, probably going to stay the same. They're going to look down that middle of the field where they've had open receivers, but they haven't been able to connect much.
10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills up 7-zip on Mars. Two receivers left. Tight end to the left as well. Kowalkowski rolling to the left, throws to the left-hand side, and the pass is batted to the turf. A nice job retreating by Tavian Brooks, and then he swats it to the turf for the incomplete pass.
Tavian Brooks, a fantastic athletic play there for the Wolverines. It looked like they were about to connect again. Another receiver open down the middle of the field, deep for Mars, but just unsuccessful again. I believe that was Andrew Recchia, the intended receiver for Mars. Just unable to connect it on a great defensive play by Tavian Brooks.
Schlegel to punt. Looks like it's Jay Smith back to return the punt again. Schlegel stands at the 22, while Smith is at the 31. Good snap. Schlegel gets it away. Not much leg to it as it will go out of bounds along the near boundary. And the official over here on the near side says the ball clears the sideline at the 43, so Woodland Hills with good starting field position here in the third quarter.
He had no intention of putting that anywhere near Jay Smith. I suspect the Mars coaches in the locker room probably told punter Drew Schlegel, do not let it go near Jay Smith. He is too dangerous, as he was looking dead to the sideline there. He just wanted to get it there as fast as he could.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Ball at the 43-yard line.
9:35 here in the third frame. Woodland Hills, their first drive of the second half. They lead Mars 7-0 here in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs. Hand off, Meredith bouncing right, cutting it back to the left. He bursts through a hole and picks up about 7 yards out to the midfield stripe, bringing up a very manageable 2nd down and 3.
Again, a nice run play on first down for the Wolverines. As we mentioned in the first half, those first down plays are key. A lot of times Mars is look and run. Wolverines love to run the ball on first down, and they're still having success on first down, and that's key. They need to be consistent with that. Keep it up.
9 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills with the ball at the midfield stripe, hammed off. It's Meredith. He bursts free inside of the 45, cuts around a tackler at the 40, inside of the 30 where he's forced out of bounds by Schlegel, and it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills all the way down at the 26.
Another nice run by Anthony Meredith. They're having some success along that right side of the line. Just breaks through, taking the handoff from Judson. Some really nice blocks, especially by Julius Brown and Joshua Rawlings there on the right side. Opened up a hole for Anthony Meredith, and he took it. First down, Wolverines, getting close to the red zone.
Double tights, receiver split to either side as Judson hands off. Dancing Meredith now springs through a hole inside of the 25. They're going to mark him down around the 24-yard line. Nice gain there for Anthony Meredith, and that brings up 2nd down and 8.
Now Meredith, after a couple consecutive carries, going to take a little break on the sideline, and we'll see William Clark, the other extremely talented running back for the Wolverines, come into the game.
Meredith, a 57-yard touchdown run early in the second quarter, the lone scorer of this football game, other than the PAT by Chucky Hanchett. Pistol formation. Judson sends two receivers to the wide side left. He'll hand off to Clark. Clark, big hole over the right-hand side. Inside of the 20, close to the first down marker. You say he's down at the 17, bringing up 3rd and 1.
Just tripped up there. He saw a lot of greenery. He almost was able to take that to the house. In fact, if he was able to break that last tackle, he might have been able to with the shiftiness of William Clark. But he just gets dragged down. It's just going to be a short 3rd and 1 here, and I'm sure you have 2 chances to get this.
So Woodland Hills will stay in the pistol. Double tights, 2 receivers left. Hard count by Judson. He's going to hand off. Clark met in the backfield, slides past the tackler. Surges his way forward. He's got the first down to the 16-yard line. Great individual effort by William Clark.
Just gets better and better, Adam. You just don't think he had any chance there. As Mars stacked that front line. They knew a run was coming, and they get through to him, but still, he's able to break 3 from the tackle of Teddy Ruffner, and William Clark gets a key first down for the Wolverines.
1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. The ball inside of the red zone now at the 16.
Big opportunity here to get up by 2 scores for Woodland Hills.
2 receivers left, low snap, hand off. Now it's Judson. He's going to keep it himself, running to the left-hand side, down towards the 11-yard line for a pickup of 5. He bobbled the snap, couldn't get it off to Meredith cleanly, so decided to keep it himself.
Hard to tell if he had the option there or it was maybe a broken play because of the low snap, but I think he saw a hole and he wanted to keep that ball. We know Judson has some legs from his past in New York at quarterback. He had a lot of rushing yards there from the quarterback position. There he was able to showcase it, get the Wolverines in a 2nd and about 5.
Judson, pistol, hands off Meredith. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, no further, and it'll be 3rd down and 5.
That was the key stop that Mars needed there. Too many consecutive decent amounts of yardage being gained by the Wolverines, and they closed the door on that one. But again, you pretty much have 2 chances here, unless Coach Tim Bosser would want to kick a field goal. But we'll see if the Wolverines can just get the first down right now.
Receiver split to either side. Judson in the pistol with a double tight end formation. Low snap. He'll roll off a play action, rolling to his left-hand side, throwing to his left-hand side. Finds Michael Roman down near the 6. He's going to step out of bounds. It'll be very close to the first down marker.
Hard to tell. We'll see where the initial spot was. If this is going to give the Wolverines a first down.
It will. 1st and goal for Woody High.
Really, really nice play there. Gavin Judson just stayed poised back there, did not panic. And Michael Roman looking that pass into his arms and a huge grab and 1st and goal Wolverines.
There is so much Woodland Hills has done tonight that they didn't put on tape all season long, and it's effective.
Absolutely it is.
1st and goal for the Wolverines, the ball at the 6. Pistol formation. Meredith behind Judson, 2 receivers split to the right-hand side. Hand off, Meredith goes right, goes back left, drives his way down towards the goal line. He's down at the 1, 2nd and goal at that 1.
Wolverine sideline getting excited there. They thought he made it in, but he was just taken down short of the goal line. Now the Wolverines have to finish this off. Just a nice cut by Anthony Meredith up the middle there. Just wasn't able to get in, but close enough. Big opportunity here on 2nd and goal at the 1.
Judson steps under center, drives his way forward. The pile moves into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown, and the Wolverines are on top 13-zip.
Glad for Gavin Judson. You know, he's been working so hard for the Wolverines this year, as had that whole offensive line. And just a great, great play call by Coach Tim Boster. Just go right up the gut there on the QB sneak. Gavin Judson, a big guy. He was able to power it in with some help from his linemen. And big, big score for the Wolverines to get up 13-0 here with 5:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Chucky Hanchett on to attempt the PAT. Good hold by Lucas, the kick up, and that kick is good. And with 5:31 to play in the 3rd quarter, Woodland Hills on top of Mars 14-zip. It's the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
ABOS Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at ABOS will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, ABOS Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make ABOS Opticians your opticians. Call ABOS Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abosopticians.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
A 1-yard touchdown run by Gavin Judson. And the Wolverines on top of the Mars Fighting Planets 14-0 here in the first round of the WPIAL 5A playoffs.
Charles Hanchett during the kickoff duties.
Well, Eric, you know, when you watch college basketball, a lot of times, we'll get to that after this kickoff down to the 5-yard line, where it'll be returned by Mars, and Andrew Recchi is met around the 20-yard line, and out to the 22 he will go, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Mars. Getting back to what I was saying, Eric, a lot of times you watch college basketball, NCAA tournament, and that 4 versus 13 matchup, a lot of times there's an upset, and we've got one brewing here in Mars.
Yeah, we know that can happen a lot, and especially tonight on the road. The Wolverines doing a great job. They got to keep it up. There's plenty of time left in this game. The defense has to do what they've been doing all night, stopping Reinke and getting through on the blitz, causing pressure, and making overthrows by Kowalski, because there have been open receivers for Mars. They have just had trouble connecting.
Wings to either side. Now a motion man from left to right as the handoff is going to go to the ball carrier, Reinke, and Reinke has nowhere to go as he is brought down by Michael Roman right at the line of scrimmage.
Reinke hit hard there, possibly the biggest hit of the night on both sides of the ball. Woodland Hills breaking through there and not letting him go anywhere, so no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Clock winding, under 5 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Woodland Hills on top of Mars. 14-zip. Kowalski under center. Sends a man in motion from right to left. Now he'll roll to his right-hand side, has a receiver in the flat. That is the running back out of the backfield, Garrett Reinke. And Reinke is tripped up by Anthony Meredith as he crosses the 35 out towards the 37-yard line, maybe the 38, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Mars.
Yeah, that was a big play for Mars. You know, they've been getting stopped very consistently by the Wolverines, and he was able to get that over the big paws of Joshua Rawlings, connect with the reliable Garrett Reinke, and a nice tackle by Anthony Meredith there to catch the shoestrings of Reinke. Still not in Wolverines territory, though, so now still time for the defense to get a big play.
.433 to play here in the third quarter as the ball will go on the end around to Schlegel, and Schlegel spins away from tacklers, still on his feet, picks up positive yardage and a 1st down out to the midfield stripe.
Yeah, you just can't do that if you're Woodland Hills. You had two guys there ready to make the tackle for the Wolverines, unable to wrap up and bring them down, and you're just given too many opportunities right now, and 2 big consecutive plays for 1st downs for Mars.
Under 4:20 to play here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills on top 14-0. The Planets starting this drive at their own 22. Just under a minute to go. A minute ago, rather. And just over 4 minutes to go here in the third frame. Wings to either side. As Kowalski rolls to his right, throws down the middle, and there is an opportunity for both a Wolverine and a Planet to try to come down there with the football, and neither does so. It was Tavian Brooks on the defense for Woodland Hills and Andrew Recchia, the receiver for the Mars Planets.
That time not so open as other chances that the Mars Fighting Planets have had. Good coverage there by Tavian Brooks, able to knock that ball away and make sure the Mars Fighting Planets are now stuck in a 2nd and 10.
So 2nd down and 10, the clock stopped with under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. This WPIAL playoff broadcast brought to you by State Farm agent Brandon Green. 2nd and 10 for Mars. The ball at the 50. They're going to run a reverse. With the ball coming from left to right is Hunter Hart, and Hart will pick up 6 yards before he is undercut by Michael Coleman. Also in on the stop for Woodland Hills is Taylon Brooks. And not much room there for a man coming on the end around for the Mars Planets.
It's third down and 4.
It was number 11 who doesn't come up in our computer system, so not sure who that ball carrier was, but irrelevant as he didn't pick up even enough for the first down, and it's now 3rd and 4 as the clock winds to just over 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in quarter number 3.
Mars maybe go with a quick snap here. They're going to wait.
Kowalski under center, hard count. Now he's going to hand off, and it's the big back taking the carry up the middle, Teddy Ruffner, and the ball came loose from Ruffner. They're going to say he was down. Woodland Hills came out of there with the football, but the official on the near sideline said that the ball carrier was down before Caleb Brevard came out of there with the rock.
That was certainly close. On the naked eye, it looked like it might have been out, but probably had the better view there. Did the official on the field, made the call pretty quick. Now 4th and short. Obvious, got to go for it here if you're Mars.
Absolutely. With 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter, you're down by 2 scores, and the clock is winding. 4th and 2 at the 43. The Planets out of the huddle. Double tight end formation. Kowalski is going to bark. The Wolverines try to hold true, and they do. Now running to the left-hand side goes the tailback, Reinke. Reinke gets towards the line of scrimmage, but he won't get towards the first down flag as Michael Roman with other teammates bring Reinke down. Turnover on downs, first down Woodland Hills.
Great closing speed by the Wolverines defense. It looked initially like Reinke was going to have the room and the hole to be able to get that first down, but the Wolverines come up huge there, and now this is a huge opportunity for the Wolverines offense to get down the field and really have a statement touchdown and statement drive here.
2:13 to play in the third frame as Woodland Hills takes it away on downs. Judson's going to hand off. Clark running to the right across the 45, inside the 50 to the 45, out of bounds near the 40-yard line, and a big first down on first down for William Clark.
What a great run by William Clark on first down. His first down plays have been huge for Woodland Hills, able to get enough yardage to put themselves in manageable second down situations, or just getting a first down right away, right there, able to get the first down and get Woodland Hills in Mars territory.
So Mars ate up nearly 3 minutes of clock on their last drive and ended up turning it over on downs inside of Woodland Hills territory at the 41. Now the handoff to Clark as he runs to his left-hand side. He'll pick up just a yard inside of the 40 to the 39. But the clock is just as important at this point as the scoreboard. Woodland Hills is up by 2 scores. They have the football in their hands, and they've shown the acumen of eating up clock and scoring against this Mars defense.
Certainly, the offensive line has to be big here. Woodland Hills, a running team, so you know Mars is going to stack the box and be ready for the run. This is when the line has to come up huge and create the holes for Clark and Meredith to run through.
Double tight, 2 receivers left. Judson, hard count. Hands off. Clark running right, gathers his feet, turns the corner as the flag comes down. Clark will pick up a couple of yards before he is driven back. And the flag was thrown at the ankles of a Woodland Hills offensive lineman. And barring an illegal hands to the face against the defensive lineman, this is going to go against Woodland Hills.
Yeah, it's another opportunity, another time when the Woodland Hills Wolverines are shooting themselves in the foot there. This is going to be a very, very difficult situation to be in now. You're going to have a second and very long, and hopefully you are able to get out of this hole and at least put yourself in better position if you're unable to get the first down to punt.
Clock winds, 1:20 to play here in the third frame. Woodland Hills facing a second down and 21 with the ball at their own 49. The line to gain is the Mars 30. Low snap, Judson straight drop back, looking left the whole way, throwing left, has Rawlings wide open, he catches it at the 40, he's got the first down, leaps over a Planet and is forced out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. Best play of the season by Josh Rawlings, hands down, and that includes the scoop and score last week.
It was a huge play by Josh Rawlings. Unfortunately, they're going to flag him for the hurdle, but
that is a terrible call. The player from Mars was going down at the time.
Exactly. If you have more than just your 2 feet on the ground, you're allowed to hurdle a defender. And he had his knees on the ground. That was a legal hurdle by Josh Rawlings. Unfortunately, the officials don't realize that, and they're going to negate that big run and catch by Josh Rawlings.
There is no possible way that this should be a hurdle against the Wolverines. Joshua Rawlings leaped over the Mars Planet right around the 30-yard line when he went over a player who was down. That is not hurdling. Not today, not yesterday, not when Frenchie Fuqua was called for it 45 years ago.
Yeah, really, really tough break that the officials weren't able. Maybe they know the rule, but they didn't see it correctly. They were too quick to throw that flag, and just a really, really tough break. But the Wolverines got to use the momentum that they have from a big play like that and just go right back at Mars, attack them, and get down the field.
Andrew Recchia was down on a knee when he got leaped over by Josh Rawlings. Now, head coach Tim Bostard is out there, and he's going to talk to the official. And I can't say I blame my old teammate at all for getting upset with this one.
Yeah, that's a misinterpreted rule a lot of times. People just think there's no hurdling in high school. That's incorrect. If it's your 2 feet on the ground, that's it. You're not allowed to hurdle a guy. But if he is on the ground, a knee or anything like that, it's totally legal.
Absolutely. A knee, a hand, anything that's down besides the 2 feet, it's not hurdling. Hand off. Meredith, he'll spring free, inside of the 40, inside of the 30. It's a first down anyway for Woodland Hills. The ball at the 29.
Great run by Woodland Hills there. That's exactly what they had to do. Don't sit and wallow in a play after a play like that. Go right back at them. And now you have the opportunity coming to the end of the third quarter here to maybe get into the end zone one more time and really, really discourage the Mars Fighting Planets.
Clock winding, 50 seconds to play here in the third frame. Woodland Hills on top, 14-0 on Mars. Receivers split to either side. Handoff. Meredith, no, Judson's going to keep it. Running left, inside of the 25, still on his feet, inside of the 20. He's brought down at the 16. 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, inside of the red zone.
I love to see Judson keeping the ball. Another thing, as you mentioned earlier, Adam, a lot of things that Mars hadn't seen on film, that right there. Gavin Judson has only decided to keep the ball just a couple times on this season. You could count on one hand, and just a great decision there by Judson. He had a ton of room to run, and right now inside the red zone.
Woodland Hills is going to accept that to be the final play of the third quarter, as the official had not chopped in the play clock outside of the 25 seconds.
Not sure about that, because the Wolverines, Julius Brown looks pretty upset. They might throw a delay game here on Woodland Hills. Now they're going to have to burn a timeout. Just a tough, yeah, that's where the not having the 25-second clock really factors in.
And they called the penalty against Woodland Hills. Tim Bostard had asked for the timeout. Not so. They use the delay of, or they get charged with the delay of game. And in a circumstance like that, Woodland Hills was surrendering the remainder of the quarter. The referee had no business chopping in the play clock any earlier than 25 seconds.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even hear the whistle to start the play clock. I don't know what happened there, but Wolverines have to burn a timeout, but it's okay. Still got an opportunity big here now, just outside the red zone after the flag.
Judson in the pistol, 1st and 15. He's going to hand off. Meredith running right, has a crease, trying to turn the corner of the far sideline, now cuts it back in. Inside of the 15, he'll be brought down at around the 12-yard line, and that will be the final play of this third quarter. We head to the fourth frame with Woodland Hills on top of the Mars Planets, 14-0, and the Wolverines are threatening down towards the 10-yard line. It's the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills leading the Mars Planets 14-0 as we start the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills has the ball 2nd down and 7 at the Mars 13-yard line. Bit of controversy on this drive as Josh Rawlings was erroneously called for hurdling when he leaped over a Mars Planet player who was down on the ground. Add to that there was a delay of game called against Woodland Hills when the circumstance certainly indicated that the Wolverines were going to be able to allow that third frame to expire, but the officials didn't concur.
Wolverines got to look right past that, and they got to start the fourth quarter out with a boom here and get into the end zone.
Low snap, handoff. Clark running left, has some blockers in front of him inside of the 10. He'll push it down towards that first down flag. The official on the near sideline says he's down at the 8-yard line, so a pickup of 5 on that play brings up a third and very manageable 1.
And here we go. Woodland Hills now pretty much 2 opportunities to get this, unless you would see if they wouldn't get it, coach Tim up for a field goal that would put the Wolverines up by 3 scores, but I'd love to see him be aggressive here.
So it's actually like 3rd and 2 with the ball inside of the 9. Pistol, handoff. Clark hesitates, bounces off a tackler. He's going to be knocked down around the 9-yard line. And Tim Boster's going to send the field goal unit out onto the field.
Well, there's a late flag on the play. This looks like it's going to push the Wolverines back out of field goal range now.
So it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, there's a flag there. And DeJuan Howes was clapping like something positive had happened for the Wolverines. We'll see here. We've got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike against Mars. It's first down for Woodland Hills on the unsportsmanlike penalty against the Mars Planets. And Eric, that's indicative of a team that's very frustrated, trailing by 14 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I spoke too soon. I think it was Josh Rawlings, put his arms out like, stop. I took it to mean we're going to be out of field goal range. He meant it was on Mars for unsportsmanlike conduct. A huge penalty, and the Wolverines have to take advantage of it now. 1st and goal just inside the 5.
Well, Woodland Hills has been able to overcome a couple of officiating blunders in this drive. They get some help by the Stripes there. Let's see what they can do with it on 1st and goal at the 4. Handoff, Clark running right. And he is going to get to the 5-yard line and no further as a Wolverine is shaken up in the backfield down around the 7-yard line. And flags flew from just about everywhere. We're going to have to check in with our referee to see what that call was.
Yeah, it looks like Wolverines are going to back right up after that.
Holding against Woodland Hills from the spot of the foul, which was a yard deep in the backfield, maybe 2 yards deep in the backfield. And that'll move the ball from the 6 back to the 16, and it's 1st and goal, 16 yards away from pay dirt.
Yeah, just a tough break there after getting so much momentum after a huge call and some big runs there. Now you push yourself back to a long 1st and goal at the 16-yard line. But the way the Wolverines have been running the ball, hopefully they can get this in. But Mars has had some great pursuit in the last couple plays. They were just selling and dead out on the run.
Pitch running to the right. It's Clark. Lowers his shoulders, drives his way forward inside of the 15. They'll say he gets to around the 13 before his forward momentum is stopped.
Not much doing there. I like the idea by Coach Tim Boster trying to get the ball outside as the last couple runs up the middle run successful. Still too much pursuit by Mars Fighting Planets as they're just coming full force right now. They do not want to be knocked out of these playoffs. But the Wolverines are so close to getting that one big score here.
2nd and goal at the 13. Ball on the right hash. Judson's in the pistol with receivers split to either side in a double tight end formation. Low snap. Judson rolls left, settles. Now he's going to throw to that far boundary. And it is out of bounds. And Judson kind of put that in a place where it was either going to be incomplete or caught by a Wolverine. And a flag is down way behind the play, and if this is holding against the Woodland Hills Wolverines, this is going to stink to high heaven. An eligible receiver downfield against Woodland Hills. Not sure. Certainly wasn't anything I was watching.
And a holding.
Oh, so there was 2 against the Wolverines.
So holding card against the Wolverines.
Well, a moment ago I said that Woodland Hills got some help by the Stripes, and then as this drive has continued, things have gotten a little bit more precarious with their relationship with the Zebras.
It's been tough. You have the ball down at the 5-yard line after that call, and now you're all the way pushed back here to the 27-yard line. Just some tough breaks for Woodland Hills as, you know, there's been a lot of holding going on all game, and they decide to call 2 holdings at key times on the Wolverines.
Pistol formation, 2 receivers split left with a double tight end formation, and Meredith dotting the pistol. Wolverine's going to run the end around pitch. Here comes Smith in the near sideline, trying to turn the corner, and will get past a Planet, but not for a whole heck of a lot of yards. In fact, he loses about 2 or 3 back to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and he went out of bounds there, Adam, and that's, there's still a lot of time left, 9:59, but every second counts if he stays in bounds there and the clock keeps running. That benefits the Wolverines. Unfortunately, Jay Smith goes out of bounds, but still, like I said, too much time to really be looking at the clock.
I don't think that's ever a circumstance, especially with the way the Mars Planets have eaten up clock today and the way the Wolverines have been able to return the favor. I think right now you just got to think, how much clock can I eat? Can I score here? 3rd and goal, ball to 29. The Wolverines hand off. It's Meredith running to the left, trying to turn the corner. Springs through a hole. He's inside of the 20 where he is brought down. They're going to say he's down at the 20. And decision time for Tim Bossard on 4th and goal at the 20. Does he keep the offense out there, or does he try what would be a 37-yard field goal from the left hash? Looks like the offense stays out.
Yeah, I don't blame him for doing this. I mean, you got to just throw one up to the end zone maybe and hope that if it is intercepted or something and Mars runs it out to like the 1 or 2 yard line and you have a flip of field position. But hopefully we'll see the Wolverines get in the end zone here. You never know.
Coleman splits right. Smith, the wing to the right. Low snap. Straight drop back. Judson throws it towards Jay Smith. Oh, he's brought down at the 3-yard line. They'll say he got to the 2. So a decent turnover on downs there as Jay Smith doesn't get into the end zone. But the Wolverines advance the ball 18 yards down to the 2. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Mars with 98 yards to go for their first score of the game.
Yeah, good job fighting through some adversity there for Woodland Hills. A really strong throw by Gavin Judson and a great catch by Jay Smith across the middle. Even better tackle, though, for Mars as it's taken down at the 2. And now, again, defense has to answer the call and get a big stop. Still tons of time in this game, so 2 scores is not enough.
We've seen Mars twice start drives inside of their own 5. They started one at their own 1, and then another here at their own 2. Stacked backfield as the handoff will go up the middle, and a nice carry there on 1st down. Gets the Planets out of the shadow of their own end zone as Garrett Ranke takes it out across the 5 towards the 7.
Yeah, that was just a really nice job by Mars, getting some breathing room, exactly what they had to do. Woodland Hills unable to stack that play up quick and use the bad starting field position to their advantage. But hopefully the defense can step up and force a turnover on downs or a punt at this situation of the game.
Clock winding now towards 8.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Woodland Hills up 14-0. Pitch to the left-hand side. Ranke, the ball carrier. He's got nowhere to go as Caleb Brevard meets him right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard on that play brings up 2nd down and 3.
Very good pursuit by
3rd
Woodland
and 3,
Hills.
excuse me. Sorry, Eric.
You're absolutely fine, Adam. With approaching 8 minutes here, this is a big 3rd down. If you stop this, if you're Woodland Hills, you pretty much make them punt. So we'll see what Woodland Hills defense can do here.
Planets taking a long time in the huddle. Just over 8 minutes to go now in the 4th frame. Woodland Hills on top, 14-0. Planets with the ball, 3rd down and 3 with the ball at their own 9. Handoff, Ranke has a big hole. He crosses the 15 and he is undercut. And that's good closing speed there by the Woodland Hills defender who ended up making the play. And I think it was Tavian Brooks who made that stop for the Wolverines. And a big stop because there was a lot of room in front of Ranke.
He could have taken that to the house if not for that big tackle there. Mike Coleman was the only one left. He was a bit engaged, though, so it might have been tough for Coleman to make that tackle. Big 1st down run for Mars. We'll see what the defense, if they are able to get a stop here.
7:35 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills on top by 14 as Kwalkowski throws to his left-hand side. The ball comes loose. It was knocked away from Schlegel on a hard hit by Michael Coleman, but the Wolverine trailing the play. Jeffrey Williams couldn't come out of there with it. Instead, it's recovered by Teddy Ruffner, and that's pretty close to the 1st down flag. It'll be a pickup of 9 on that play for the Planets.
So close to being a fumble recovery for Woodland Hills. It looked definitely to be a catch, no doubt about that. Mike Coleman with a huge hit. Jeffrey Williams was just a second too late to jump on that ball. Now the defense has got to make another big stop.
2nd and 1, 7 minutes to play. Split backs behind Kwalkowski. Running to the right is the running back, Redinger, and he will throw it deep down the field, and there was no way that pass was going to be complete. And Ranke, was the quarterback on that particular play. He took the pitch, and then he got a mouthful of a Wolverine.
Going to the trick play there, and, it was a great call there by Scott Heinauer. try and trick the Wolverines, and they certainly did, as I think it was Tavian Brooks who was on the coverage. He saw the run, he broke off the receiver, which she should not have done there, but a big overthrow by Garrett Ranke, luckily for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
And Ranke, I said he got a mouthful of a Wolverine. It was Taiwan Milton who absolutely blasted him as he released that football.
Send a little message there late in the game.
3rd and 1, the ball at the left hash. Just under 7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Mars, 14-0 in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs. To our knowledge, the first time these two teams have ever met since Woodland Hills became a program some 32 years ago. Handoff, Garrett Ranke. He's got the first down before he is hit hard by the second wave of Wolverines up near the 34-yard line where his forward progress is stopped. And it'll be first down for Mars with the ball at the 29. But as soon as this ball is set and the flags are set, they will start the clock. And they do so here with 6:47 to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, defense just has to contain them. If they're giving up short yardage, that's okay. They just can't let a big play free with the clock now at about 6.5 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Split backs. Kowalkowski rolling to his right. He's pressured by Howes. He's going to throw it. And the pass over to that far sideline is bobbled. Does Schlegel catch it before going out of bounds? The official over there behind the play says he does. Chris Edmonds, who was facing the play, said he didn't. Now, we don't have the best angle on the bobble, but at least it didn't look like it from our vantage point that Schlegel had it cleanly before going out of bounds.
Yeah, looking at it initially, I don't even know how he was able to get inbounds there. He was so close to the boundary. I don't see him ever get a foot inbounds, but after a great hit, low hit by Mike Coleman, forced his feet into the air. I don't know how he ever got anything down in bounds there, but Mars benefit from a call there and a first down.
6:26 to play, fourth frame. The Planets with the ball at their own 45. High snap. Kowalkowski, hitch and go down the near sideline, and it's intercepted. Stepping in there and taking away is Jeffrey Williams down the near boundary inside of the 40, inside of the 30, spinning away from a tackler, inside of the 20, still on his feet and finally brought down as he retreats back to the 21-yard line.
And it looks like it'll be a late hit on Schlegel, too, at the end there as he came in late. Drew Schlegel, some frustration there, hitting Jeffrey Williams after the big interception. And if it is, in fact, a late hit, that'll put the Wolverines in great starting field position inside the Mars Fighting Planets red zone.
Yeah, that'll move the ball from the 21 half the distance, so inside of the 10 at around the 9.5.
Great job by Jeffrey Williams. Read that all the way, coming over from his safety position, and just a great return as well.
Yeah, big return there as he just eyeballed that ball in the air, broke on it beautifully, and took it all the way down to the 21, where the penalty will be moving the ball from the 21 inside of the 11 towards the 10. I misspoke a moment ago and said towards the 9.
Yeah, this is a team that's averaging just about 30 points a game coming in, and you question the competition a bit, but nonetheless, it's still not easy to just consistently put 30 points on the board. So Woodland Hills defense has done a great job all night of stopping this Mars rushing attack and through the air.
I backfield behind Judson. Receiver split to either side. Judson steps under center for a rare time today. Hands off. Meredith running right, has a crease inside of the 10, spinning his way forward. Inside of the 5, he's down around the 1-yard line. There's a flag on the far sideline.
We do have a flag on the field.
Don't know if maybe running back or wide receiver Gavin Yarborough, I think, was split out wide there. Maybe he was lined up incorrectly. Doesn't get much time there at the receiver position, split out like that, more so from the slot, so maybe that had something to do with it. Unfortunately, the big run negated, and just seems like everything is against the Woodland Hills Wolverines when it comes to flags right now.
Yeah, other than a couple of personal fouls against Mars today, which are pure frustration, quite frankly, they haven't been whistled for many in-play fouls. Conversely, Woodland Hills, obviously the pre-snap penalties are one issue. Holding, etc., are another. One back set, Judson under center. Hands off to the left-hand side, and he is brought down in the backfield. Judson and Meredith weren't on the same page on if Meredith was going to keep the ball or not. Now they're going to have a word or two for each other as Woodland Hills is backed up from the 10 to the 19. And it's second and goal from the 19 a similar circumstance to the last time the Wolverines had the ball.
Exactly, a huge turn of events. Instead of Woodland Hills having the ball down around the 2 or 1 yard line, instead now they're backed up to their 18. So just see if they still have time here though, and 2nd down and 17 to draw something up and get a first down or get in the end zone.
Judson is in the pistol with Meredith behind him and 2 receivers split to the left. Hand off, Meredith running left. Tries to turn the corner, but he's tracked down from behind. A nice job coming in pursuit from behind by the defensive end, Mitchell Wright.
Yeah, Wright did a great job of taking advantage of a bit of the hesitation from Meredith. He was waiting for a couple blocks to take form and hit the hole, but he didn't have enough time and hesitated a little bit too much, and Wright was able to track him down.
4:40 as the clock winds here in the 4th quarter. Woodland Hills up 14-0. It's 3rd and goal for Woodland Hills. However, the ball is at the 19-yard line. And it's not really 3rd and goal. It's 3rd down and 18. The Wolverines can get a first down inside the 1. Motion man left to right is Smith. He's going to fumble the exchange with the handoff from Judson. And Woodland Hills, who had this ball at the 10-yard line to start this drive, is backed up to 3rd and a mile at the 29 as Mars takes their first timeout, and we'll take a breather too. Woodland Hills on top of the Mars Planets by a score of 14-0. It's the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Farm agent Brandon Green wants to help you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize your dreams. You can visit his office, conveniently located in the Forest Hills Plaza. Give him a call at 412-824-4800 or visit his website at greencoverage.com. Whether you're looking for insurance, banking, or annuities, State Farm agent Brandon Green is here to help life go right.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
4:12 to play, 4th quarter. Woodland Hills facing a 4th down and 29 at their Mars 31-yard line after starting this drive at the Mars 11. Chucky Hanchett is on to attempt a pooch punt. Good snap. Hanchett gets it away. It's a wobbler. It'll take a decent bounce. And Woodland Hills keeps it out of the end zone, and it's going to be down inside the 5-yard line again by Armani Bailey for the 2nd week in a row.
Big special teams play by Armani Bailey. He's been coming up all year big for the Wolverines on special teams. And also a nice punt by Chucky Hanchett. He was able to get it away, got the great bounce. And the Wolverines pinned the Fighting Planets back yet again. Now just about 4 minutes left. This is do or die time for Mars and Woodland Hills. The Woodland Hills defense, if they get a stop, they pretty much can call themselves the victor. But Mars still has time to get something done here.
Now they have 2 timeouts remaining. The Wolverines have all 3. I doubt Woodland Hills is going to use it under any circumstance right now. Except here where Coach Tim Bostard, and this is a sensible one because the clock is stopped. He's not stopping the clock. He's talking things over. So that's a different circumstance. We're going to step away. Woodland Hills on top, 14-0. It's the Wolverines and the Planets on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
14-0 Woodland Hills on top of Mars. 4:04 to play in regulation. Mars with a long field in front of them. For the 3rd time today, they start a drive inside of their own 5. Twice now at their own 1, and their previous drive started at their own 2. A drive that occupied 3 minutes off the clock and Didn't end up with any points. Straight drop back. Walkowski throws it across the middle, and the pass is caught. With the catch is Garrett Ranke. He's hit hard after catching that football out around the 26 or 27-yard line, and Ranke is slow to get to his feet. And Ranke has certainly been battered here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of hits. He's had so many carries, such a huge part of the Mars offense. And, you know, a play like that, the Woodland Hills defense has played well all game, but that's something you just cannot let happen. Break up through the seam there and get a huge gain on first down like that with still a lot of time left on the clock.
This WPIAL playoff broadcast brought to you by State Farm agent Brandon Green. Stay tuned after the game for the State Farm agent Brandon Green post-game show. Winner of this game takes on the winner of the 5th-seeded West Allegheny Indians or the 12th-seeded Shaler Titans. Now, we haven't had a scoring update on that game just yet. But if Woodland Hills takes on West Day, it'll be the first time since the last time. The Wolverines traveled to West Day a couple of weeks back, and Woodland Hills was literally an inch away from winning that football game. Conversely, the last time Woodland Hills took on the Shaler Titans was quite a long time ago. On a Saturday afternoon, Woodland Hills took on Shaler on Shaler's homecoming several years back. In fact, I think you were an intern at the time with the Woodland Hills Football Network, Eric.
That's right. I remember those days, back in the days of Miles Sanders and Joel Shaw. And actually, we do have an update from that West Allegheny game. Currently, the West Allegheny Indians are on top pretty big right now on Shaler, 24-0. Last score update. So it looks like West Allegheny is easily going to advance into the next round.
Yeah, if the Indians advance to the quarterfinals and they take on Woodland Hills, don't be surprised if that game is played at Baldwin. Over the years, Woodland Hills has played so many teams from the western part of town or from the South Hills at Baldwin, and this probably would be the same circumstance next Friday night if Woodland Hills does advance to the WPIAL quarterfinals. Good news, Garrett Ranke on his feet after a very protracted injury timeout. Well, this poor kid has paid the price here in the fourth quarter. The 5'9", 190-pound senior has certainly left his heart on the field regardless of what the outcome of this game will be.
It was a big play, though. You know, don't let the injury let you forget that was a big first down play for Mars. Get out of the shadow of their own end zone now. Just about 4 minutes left in the game. The Woodland Hills defense got to come up big.
Clock winding now with 3:55 to play. Pistol formation. High snap. Kowalkowski looking left the whole way. Jay Smith intercepts it instead. Jay Smith running to the far sideline, setting up blockers. Bounces it to the far boundary, inside of the 50, inside of the 40 as the flag comes down. Jay Smith to the far boundary. Another flag in as he's brought down inside of the 20 at around the 16-yard line. Woodland Hills with some peel-back blocks and blocks in the back. But the most important thing is Woodland Hills took the football away from the Mars Planets.
Yeah, they get the ball back. You could see that. And again, I don't know why the Wolverines just can't stop themselves. You got a guy like Jay Smith. He just blows past defenders. You do not need to block in the back or hold. Let him do it himself. But nonetheless, you're right, Adam. The Wolverines have the ball. Even after some bad penalties there, they'll still have the ball with 3:37 remaining in this game and an opportunity to get a couple first downs and end the game now.
Now, the block of the back was out around the 17-yard line near the end of the return. Then there was a hold called against the Wolverine near the 40-yard line. So Woodland Hills is going to get the ball still right around the midfield stripe. They'll spot it inside of Woodland Hills territory at the 49. So Woodland Hills, with decent field position here. They have the football in their hands. Mars is down to 2 timeouts, a couple of first downs here, and Woodland Hills is headed to the quarterfinals.
And it's got to hold on to that ball. Ball security is huge here.
Hand off. Clark running left inside of the 45 as he drives his way towards that first down flag. A pickup of 8 on that play before Ruffner makes the tackle for the Mars Planets.
Yeah, Woodland Hills on defense doing some great things. And as I mentioned before, there were some overthrows on wide open receivers in the first half, and there was no coverage there or any safety. But the Wolverines have made some adjustments, and they've been able to cover those deep balls better, and that's why they have those 2 interceptions big in the second half.
Clock winding, over 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Judson's in the pistol, 2 receivers to the right. Low snap, handoff. Clark running right. He's got the first down as he wiggles through a tackler, and he's finally brought down, approaching the 45. And the Planets were pulling at the ball there, but Tyler Kowalkowski couldn't come out of the pile with it. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 36. And with less than 3 minutes to play, this game's almost over for the Mars Planets.
Yeah, Woodland Hills again, just got to keep grinding away and hold on to that ball.
And the issue is here, Eric, head coach Heinauer for Mars can't use timeouts when Woodland Hills just continues to pick up big yardage on every play. Handoff, Clark running right, drives his way forward as he brings it down towards the 30-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 31 for a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down and 5.
And again, the clock keeps rolling, no timeout used. Here's a really big opportunity on this series of downs, Adam, for the Wolverines to get the first down. This would really make it difficult on Mars to get a first down here.
Second and 5. Judson in the pistol, 2 receivers right. Low snap, good handoff. Clark running left. Slides past the tackler, close to first down yardage before he's brought down, and more importantly brought down inbounds by a Planet over on that far sideline. Ben Chismar on the tackle for Mars.
Exactly, staying in bounds was huge, although looks like Heinauer will take the timeout here.
So a timeout on the field. We'll step away too. 1:39 to play here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Mars, 14-0 on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
1:39 to play in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Mars, 14-0. As the Wolverines right now shocking the Planets here in the far northern suburbs of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Great effort overall by the Wolverines tonight. Hopefully they're able to get this first down and end the game.
Judson steps under center, hesitates, then drives his way forward inside of the 25 towards the 24-yard line. It's first down for Woodland Hills.
And that is a first down for the
And with 1:35 to play here, Woodland Hills has the opportunity to basically kill the clock.
So the ball is
Big body of Gavin Judson driving forward behind center Jameer Almer, who's a sophomore, by the way. So that's a big first down for Woodland Hills. Clock will start. Clock just started, and they're just about a couple seconds of play away from kneeling it.
Judson in the pistol, 2 receivers right. Clock winding towards 1:15 to play. Judson will hand off. Clark straight up the gut, slides past tacklers, drives his way towards the 21-yard line.
He's stopped by number 74.
Looks like a Mars Fighting Planet down. He's going to get up. No injury there. Good job by William Clark holding on to that ball. You know every Fighting Planet was coming after him and the ball there, but now under a minute to go, it looks like Scott Heinauer is going to, if he has a timeout, I'm not quite sure, but if he does, he's just going to hold on to that and surrender this one.
So the Wolverines will head into the victory formation. Judson will step under center with under 30 seconds to play and takes the knee, and that'll be the final play of the football game. Woodland Hills travels to Mars for the first time in program history and defeats the Planets in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs and will advance to the WPIAL quarterfinals, in all likelihood a rematch against West A.
Yeah, West Allegheny last I checked up 30-0, so that's what it looks like it'll be. But, you know, just a great effort by Woodland Hills tonight. They played so well in all facets of the game. They had some trouble, a couple pre-snap penalties early, but they really got things together on both sides of the ball, and they were so effective, and they really just shut down Mars completely.
Again, your final score, 14-0. Woodland Hills defeats Mars. We're going to step away for a couple of minutes, and when we return, it'll be the State Farm agent Brandon Green postgame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills Football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com. There are a few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barbers Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barbers Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barbers Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for over 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
We are at the Mars Athletic Complex, where Woodland Hills upsets the Mars Planets by a final score of 14-0. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the State Farm agent Brandon Green post-game show. We thank you for joining us all night long here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Eric, before we get to the particulars of the drive summary, just a fantastic football game for Woodland Hills, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, they set the tone right from the beginning, Adam. Pretty much dominated the whole game. Did not let Mars do much at all offensively other than a couple big plays. And the offense did exactly what they had to do, and barring a fumble there at the 1 yard line and then that play that was called back for a penalty that Meredith took down to the 1 yard line, you know, it could have been a lot worse than 14-0.
Oh, there's no doubt about that one. This game certainly not indicative of the way the game was played, not indicative of the final score on that scoreboard. Now, Woodland Hills scored early in the second quarter on a 57-yard touchdown run by Anthony Meredith, and the Wolverines took that 7-0 lead into the locker room. And then the Wolverines came out of the locker room in the third quarter. They forced the Mars Planets to punt. They got the ball at their own 43-yard line. And a nice 4-minute and 30-second drive was capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Gavin Judson. The PAT by Chucky Hanchett made it 14-0. The Wolverines defense forced a turnover on downs and intercepted the Mars Planets twice in the fourth quarter to seal up this football game.
Yeah, and moving forward, you know you're going to face a really tough team in West Allegheny. You have to see some new wrinkles in the offense, and that's what you're going to have to do against a really tough team. You're going to have to switch things up, do things they haven't seen, use the talent that the Wolverines have moving forward.
And Eric, we talked about this during the game. Quite often, especially in collegiate basketball, that 13 upsets the 4, and we talked about it on the drive up here. Wouldn't be surprised at all if it happened tonight, and it did happen.
Yeah, they came out ready for an upset, did the Wolverines. Not many people gave them a chance. From stuff that I heard during the week, pretty much everybody just glossed right over this game and just gave Mars the game, but Wolverines came in with a different mindset.
The Wolverines now improve their record to 5-6 on the season, while Mars finishes up their season with a record of 9-2. Eric and I are going to step away for a couple of minutes, and when we return, we will continue on the State Farm agent Brandon Green post-game show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, as we'll get to the post-game superlatives. You've been tuned in to the Wolverines and the Mars Planets here on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
State Farm agent Brandon Green wants to help you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize your dreams. You can visit his office, conveniently located in the Forest Hills Plaza. Give him a call at 412-824-4800 or visit his website at greencoverage.com. Whether you're looking for insurance, banking, or annuities, State Farm agent Brandon Green is here to help life go right.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills with the upset over the Mars Planets, improving their record to 5-6 on the year, and more importantly, they head to the WPIAL quarterfinals, where they will take on the West Allegheny Indians. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley, wrapping it up for you here at the Mars Athletic Complex after this WPIAL first-round playoff game between Woodland Hills and Mars. And Eric, it's time for our post-game superlatives, and really, there was so much to choose from, so many great plays and so many great individual efforts. It was hard to determine exactly who got what post-game superlative, but really the one we were able to decide on the easiest was the Attorney Owen Seaman defensive stand of the game, and that was the interception with 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining by Jeffrey Williams of the Wolverines that basically ended Mars' hopes to win the football game. Not because there wasn't a whole lot of time left, but because there wasn't a whole lot of time left, I should say there, because Mars wasn't able to get much going after Woodland Hills got that ball all the way down to the Mars 10 to start that drive.
Yeah, Jeffrey Williams has been a bit of an unsung hero for the Wolverines this year. He's done a lot, whether it be on special teams or just on defense, stepping in for guys or just straight up starting games and making plays all over the field, and made a huge one tonight reading that pass and getting a huge pick.
And our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, the first score of the game, the 57-yard touchdown run by Anthony Meredith, was the game-winning score, and and it came early in the second quarter. A big run off of a big hole.
Yeah, especially following that fumble at the 1 yard line. Just William Clark just slipped out of his hands. Anthony Meredith able to answer, and the offense able to get into the end zone. It was just a huge play for the Wolverines. Set the tone for the rest of the game.
Well, Eric, we talked about this a lot during both of our commercial breaks and the decision on who was going to be our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. And we talked about Meredith. We talked about Clark. We talked about the Woodland Hills offensive line. But when you shut out a team, you recover a fumble, you force a turnover on downs, and you get 2 interceptions. The Woodland Hills defense is our State Senator Jay Costa players of the game.
Yeah, the whole defense, they were just so fantastic all night. Caleb Brevard, DeJuan House, Mike Coleman, a couple huge hits, and then on the offensive side, that great one-handed catch earlier in the game. They just all played so well for the Wolverines, exactly what they had to do. Close the door on a high-scoring offense with a running back like Garrett Ranke, over 1,700 yards on the season, and they did a great job of answering the call and carrying the Wolverines to the second round.
Last time we looked at the score, West Allegheny was up big on Shaler, so in all likelihood they're advancing to the WPIAL quarterfinals, and it'll be a rematch between the Wolverines and the West Allegheny Indians, 2 teams out of that Allegheny 8 conference.
It's always tough playing West Allegheny, classic after classic, it seems, since this series started. Bob Palco in his last season of coaching, and I'm sure Woodland Hills is going to want to put an end to his career with a loss to the Wolverines.
And we will have the coverage for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network next Friday night. The game starts at 7:30. In all likelihood, it's going to be at Baldwin because every time Woodland Hills plays a team from the South Hills or from the west side of Pittsburgh, they play at Baldwin.
We're used to being there. No surprise there at all if that's what it turns out to be.
And again, we will have the coverage for you of that WPIAL quarterfinal game here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Well, for my broadcast partner, Eric Shuley, and our entire crew for doing a fantastic job tonight, especially being shorthanded, I'm Adam Gusky saying good night from Mars as the Wolverines defeat the Mars Planets 14-0. You've been tuned in to the Wolverines and the Planets on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa, and the playoff game brought to you by State Farm agent Brandon Green.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, ABOS Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and DeZubin Dental Associates. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2018.